Okay, I'm on section letter H, and I'm going to help you with number 30 if you're confused on it. Before we tackle number 30, I'm going to go back to that box right before 30, and we're going to make sure we know how to accurately express the complement or supplement of an angle if we don't actually know the angle itself. So to do that, I'm going to force you to think about what you did for the first three in this section. And I'm sure for the first one you got an answer of 120 degrees, but I'm less concerned about your answer than how you got your answer. So ask yourself, how did you get 120? And chances are your brain did something like this, 180 minus 60, and that's how you got 120 degrees. Okay? Now, a lot of times your brain actually does things without you realizing it, especially when it's easy math like this. So it's taking 180 and subtracting the angle. If you make yourself think about that, you should be able to come up with an expression for the fourth one there, supplement of a 2x degree angle, something like 180 minus 2x. Okay, your supplement would be dependent upon the angle itself, which is dependent upon x. So I can't simplify it further than that. That is a nice expression, though. As soon as you knew the x, you could plug it in, and you'd have your supplement. Key is, I started with 180 and subtracted my angle, whatever it is. For the complement, we're going to do the same thing except switch one thing. I should be doing 90 minus quantity 3x minus 6. And for your final expression here, you should have distributed 90 minus 3x plus 6, giving you 96 minus 3x, I would say, is your final answer. Okay, but again, I'm focusing on this first part of what are we doing to get that expression. Let's tackle number 30. So what I'm going to do for 30 is I'm going to read it, and I'm going to literally translate into algebra what I'm reading in English. You've done this before, probably in a different context, but some of this should look familiar. When I read the first sentence, an angle is, I don't know what my angle is, so I'm going to pick a variable for my angle. I'm going to use A. You can use x, same thing. Angle is, and whenever you're reading is, that translates in algebra to equals. So an angle is, now I've got 10 degrees more than, and when I'm reading that 10 degrees more than, let's get a better color here, 10 degrees more than, I'm thinking at 10. So we can do 10 at the beginning, 10 plus. I'm going to choose to do 10 at the end, and that's because when we have subtraction, we can't subtract at the beginning, we have to subtract from something. So I like to just put that plus or minus, more than, less than at the end, and then I always am consistent with it. 3 times, so I've got 3 times something, so we can go ahead and put 3 times. A lot of times I put parentheses, multiplying by something. It doesn't matter if there's a number in there or an expression. And then this last part is measure of the complement, measure of its complement. And it in this problem, the thing I started with is the angle, which was, A there. So I have to express the measure of the complement of A. Well, if we go back to what we did in the box, complement, I'm starting with 90, not 180. So I've got 90 minus my angle A will be the complement. Okay, do a quick mental check. If angle A is 20 degrees, the complement would be 90 minus 20, or 70. So this expression is good because it's giving me the complement. What my brain knows is actually the complement will make the angle add up to 90 degrees. So there I have an equation, and from here it's really just solving. Okay, I am going to go ahead and work through this one because I want to show you one other method for doing it that might make more sense, and I want to compare our answers to, of course, make sure we get the same answer. So a quick solving for this, we've got A equals, let's go ahead and distribute, 3 times 90 is 270 minus 3A plus 10, and then I'm going to combine like terms, so I'm going to add 3A to both sides and get 4A on the left equals, go ahead and do 270 plus 10 is 280, and I'm going to divide by 4, so my A comes out to 70 degrees. To make sure we answered the question, find the measure of the complement of the angle if you read at the end. So I just solved for A, but remember, A was my angle. That's what I did right here, is I established A was my angle. We want to find the measure of the complement of my angle. So my final step then is to say, okay, my complement is 90 minus A, which is 70 degrees. So it's going to equal 20 degrees. And that's going to be my final answer. The A equals 70 was my intermediate answer. That was my angle. Complement, 20 degrees. Okay? Second way to do this problem, I'm going to show you a totally different way. For those of you that are more visual, like to draw pictures, I told you like 99% of the problems we do in geometry, we'll start with a picture. This one might make more sense. So follow along on the next slide to see if this one makes more sense. Okay, we've got an angle, and I don't have the problem written here, so bear with me. I do remember it. I read it a few times. If you need to look at your paper, do so. An angle is 10 degrees more than 3 times its complement. I'm going to start with a picture. So I know complementary angles look something like this. They make 90 degrees. I'm going to start with my complement this time, and I'm going to call my complement C. Okay, now I'm expressing the other angle there in terms of the complement. So that other angle there is that I'm trying to get an expression for. I want to use the same variable that I chose, which is C this time. That angle is 10 degrees more than 3 times the measure of the complement. Well, its complement visually is this C over here. Whoops. And I'm going to do, instead of doing that, I'm going to do 3, go back. Well, let me reset. I'm going to do 3C. I meant to stick with the same variable. So I'm expressing this angle as 3C plus 10, because if my angle here is C, its complement is going to be 3 times it plus 10. Okay, take a minute, make sure you agree with that. Those expressions that I came up with. If you can agree with that, we're looking at angle addition postulate here. Altogether, they're going to have to equal 90 because I said that they're complements of each other. Okay, and we could have marked that in our picture with that nice little box. Maybe that would help you. And then I'm just going to add them up. So I've got 3C plus 10 plus C. Oops, sorry about that. And together they have to equal 90 degrees. So let's do some math. 3C plus C gives me 4C plus 10 equals 90. Subtract 10 from both sides. 4C equals 80. Leaving me with C is 20 degrees. Interesting. This time we came up with the C value. Well, think about what C was. C was our complement in this problem. So C is 20 degrees. I'm actually getting the answer. The question asks what is the complement of the angle. I don't have to subtract this time because I solved directly for the complement. Okay? Again, 2 totally different ways to do the same problem. Choose whichever one makes more sense to you and try the next couple using that method. Okay? Or you can try them both ways. Don't confuse yourself though. I just wanted to show you 2 different ways to do it.